Alright guys, so we're going to be talking about Infinity Ward giving us new content, but it's actually going to be exclusive to the PS4. I just want to go through a bunch of your guys' comments that you left on my other video talking about Modern Warfare failing and why you guys stopped playing the game and what they need to do to bring you back to the game. So I'll go through those comments and then also some stuff on the streamer tournament in attempts for Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward, and Activision overall to get more people, get more eyes on Modern Warfare, on Call of Duty, and if that's a good thing for the game. So let's go through the first thing here, the exclusive content. Now, the reason why this is not, I'm not going to say it's a big deal, and I'll make the case as to why it's not that big of a deal, but it's more about the principle of, what they originally said and them not sticking to their word. I feel like that's the main issue here. So let's go through what it actually is. Call of Duty Modern Warfare on PS4 features a set of exclusive mission challenges. These mission challenges, per the new video from PlayStation, are PS4 exclusive till October 1st, 2020. That's the same time frame in which survival mode is exclusive to the PS4 as well. This is something from this article, Charlie Intel article. These three missions have been available only on the PS4 since the launch of Modern Warfare, and now they're releasing more of these actual challenges for the missions, and then from these challenges, at least for now, you can get this blueprint, this weapon blueprint for an AR, a Jack Frost, and obviously it's a pretty cool one. It's got the PS4 theme, and it's nothing too special. I mean, if this was being released on all platforms, people wouldn't be freaking out over the Jack Frost weapon blueprint being added to the game, but the fact that it is a PS4 exclusive item is, catching people's eyes and making them wonder, okay, what is going on here? There's also other challenges, obviously, that you need to do to get this stuff, so these challenges are also exclusive to the PS4, and this is probably not going to be the only thing we see here. I mean, we're only in December. We're probably going to see a bunch of other stuff, PS4 exclusives slowly being added to the game, and that's the fear that a lot of people have. Someone commented or replied to Charlie Intel, what happened to only survival will be exclusive, and they did say that. I mean, they made it pretty clear that survival mode, especially the developers on Reddit, you guys remember, they were fighting with people when survival was announced to be only on the PS4. They said survival, it's not that big of a deal. It's 1% of the game. That's the only part of the game that's going to be exclusive. But obviously, we're seeing something else here exclusive. But so I may be biased here because I have a PS4, and if I want and if I decide, I could do these challenges, get the weapon blueprints, and I'll be fine. But I think overall, if you're on the Xbox One and the PC, this is not that big of a deal. If it really was a huge piece of content that changed the gameplay, it was a new map, it was something large, it was something substantial, then I would be mad. But I think for this, it's not that big of a deal. But I think for most people, if you are mad, you're mad on the principle, because this could be sort of the slippery slope where they say they're only going to have survival as an exclusive mode to the PS4, and then they slowly add in a bunch of little stuff. They're just going to say, oh, just a weapon blueprint. Now, that's exclusive to PS4, but it's not that big of a deal. And then they're going to say, oh, just a little new game mode just for the PS4, just for a day. Then, oh, just a new weapon, but just for a couple of hours. And then they're going to slowly add in stuff. And that's obviously the worst case scenario, and I truly don't think that's going to happen, but that's something to worry about, and it's obviously something that we've seen before. They've lied to us before, and I know Activision changed their ways. They had some sort of awakening. Who knows what happened a couple of months ago when they decided to completely get rid of microtransactions, supply drops. I mean, they must have found the Lord or something. I don't know, but all I know is that I don't completely trust, and I don't think anyone's ever going to completely trust Activision, at least in this case here. So again, like I said, this is not that big of a deal, at least as of now, but I would definitely watch out and just make sure you're paying attention to what content is being added to the game and how it's being added. So that's that here. Let's move on to some more stuff with this game. People were talking in my video in the comment section on the video where I said Modern Warfare potentially failed. Did it fail because of the fact that they're not adding the overhaul, because of the fact that there's skill-based matchmaking and there's all these different things that people want to have change within the game and they're not changing? People are leaving the game. We talked about the survey, so a lot of you guys have some comments here. Let's go through a couple of them. I stopped playing this game because it supports camping. Game has potential though. So this is something I've been saying for a while. I think most people have been saying this as well. The game has potential. There's a lot of things in the game. Like, I feel like the base game itself is a really fun game, and some games I play, I have so much fun, especially Infected. I was playing Infected earlier. I went on an 18 kill streak and crashed my first game on, and it was a really fun time. And then there are other times where it's just not that fun. And if you're playing normal public matches, you could tell the game supports camping, the mounting, the leaning, the lack of minimap, at least in my personal opinion, just from what I see. And I don't know, you guys probably play more Call of Duty than I do, but from what I see, those are a bunch of mechanics just in the game that make it so it supports you to not rush, and it supports players sitting in one position, mounting on a wall, and just staying there. And that's what the game is right now in so many different situations. So it sucks, but that's just the way it is. And I know maybe there's the case for the realistic shooter, and this is how it is in real war, but God, it's an arcade Call of Duty game. That's what it's supposed to be. I'm not saying it's supposed to be completely arcadey, and there has to be some sort of realism, but I think the mounting and the leaning, it's just a little too much, and the lack of a minimap, for sure, at least in my eyes, makes it so people are just not motivated to move around the map and actually look for kills. So here's another one. Just have Modern Warfare 2 Remastered come out. That is obviously a good thing there. That's not going to solve all of our problems. That's not going to solve the problems for the future Call of Duties. But Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, I mean, it has been leaked. When I was talking to the leakers from Modern Warfare, they did say that, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is going to happen. It's not going to happen really anytime soon. It's really all up to Activision when they want to release it. I'm thinking after Modern Warfare. They were giving me dates like 2020, 2021 even, so that's something we have to leave on the back burners, but that would definitely be a fun thing to be added, and it doesn't have to do with Modern Warfare, but it's just a fun little element to hop in, and if you're bored of the new Call of Duty, hop into Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, play a bit of that, and have some fun, so that'd be cool to see, especially at the tail end. If they release Modern Warfare 2 Remastered at the end of Modern Warfare's life cycle, that's pretty good, because most people aren't really playing the multiplayer anyway. Most of the people slowly left, and that will, revitalize the Call of Duty community at the end of the cycle before the new Call of Duty releases. So that'd be pretty cool to see. Next thing here, for the first couple of weeks, I was playing the game quite a bit. I haven't played as much recently. They need to bring more maps, OG minimap back, make Dead Silence a perk, etc. Pretty much the case here for the overhaul. The overhaul, at least from what most people were saying, from what I was saying, and the main part of the overhaul was to bring the OG minimap back, but also to make Dead Silence a perk, and everyone says that. Pro players especially have been saying that. More maps, I mean, they're giving us more maps, but I would say, new, like, actual maps that they create, not old COD 4 maps. I like the old COD 4 maps, but I would also rather have, like, actual new 6v6 maps, so if they want to do that as well, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe that'll entice players to get back into the game, because for players that have been playing the game forever, it's not really that enticing to see Crash and Shipment for the 4th and 5th time. I mean, it's obviously it's cool, but it's not really that enticing. It doesn't really want to bring you back into the game. There's nothing new about it. We've been playing on these maps forever, so you're gonna get burnt out even quicker than you did before, and that's just what happens. I mean, Crash, people were already so sick of Crash. I mean, we'll go. I think there's another comment here about Crash. The overhaul of Crash is why this game is failing. We didn't ask for it. In fact, it's exactly what we didn't want. So people didn't like Crash 24/7. They wanted Shoot House back. And think about it, Shoot House, a smaller map, but also, subconsciously, it's a new map. It's a new experience. It's like new scenery people are looking at. People want new, good maps to play. And Crash, even if Crash didn't have the doors added, and obviously I think the doors not the best decision. No one really likes the doors in Modern Warfare, so adding the doors within Crash, I don't know how that's going. Let me know down below. I don't think anyone really likes doors in Crash and Modern Warfare, but it just goes to show you that people don't like the stuff that they're doing, at least for the most part. I mean, they're doing a lot of good stuff, but they're also doing a lot of stuff that's just not necessary. So, last thing here, stop babying the new players and campers. Shoot House is a strong reason more players haven't left. That's very true. Shoot House is such a reliable thing. I mean, that's definitely a big reason why I still sometimes play. I think Infected is a huge, huge plus to this game, and I need to make a video specifically on Infected. Infected's so fun, but Shoot House for sure is a reason why people haven't left. But this game babying players, babying new players, allowing them to camp. I mean, you guys remember all the videos that they did back before the game was out. They did these developer videos, and they were saying they wanted to make these bigger maps because they want players to be able to go into all of these different buildings and windows, and they literally wanted people to camp. They wanted people to be sort of lost in the map so they could find a new kill easier. I will never understand why they made the game and why they made some of these maps specifically for casual players, specifically for them to be able to get kills easier. I guess I do understand because they want casual players to continue to play the game, and majority of the fan base is the casual fan base. But when you don't cater to your main audience, that's a really bad look for the game. And when the main audience leaves, you can't just rely on the casual players, because the casual players are there sometimes and they're not there sometimes. And the main players, the main audience, the core community, they're always going to be there. So if you're not catering to them, that's definitely a huge problem. And the last thing here, I just want to add this pretty quickly. The streamer tournament that's going on very soon, in a couple of days, a bunch of the pro players specifically, I mean, pretty much what they did is Activision Infinity Ward invited out a bunch of streamers to play this Modern Warfare tournament, and the issue was they're inviting, this was the same thing with the multiplayer reveal, they invited a bunch of Fortnite streamers, they invited a bunch of streamers from all different games, and people are wondering, why aren't you rewarding the actual streamers and content creators that are making content on the game you're actually playing and on the game they're actually promoting? And I understand that, and I do think they should reward, content creators more for giving, Call of Duty so much free publicity all the time. But it's also another thing. Think about how good it is for a Fortnite streamer to play Modern Warfare, and a bunch of people that watch Fortnite and they never watch Call of Duty, and they see a Fortnite streamer play Call of Duty, and they just think like, oh, maybe I could play Call of Duty, maybe I'll hop on. And then they actually become a Call of Duty fan. I think any new Call of Duty fans we do get is a good thing. Expanding the Call of Duty community is definitely a good thing. So, although I do understand what people are saying, I think it's a really good thing that most streamers, and not all of them, but at least most of them are from outside the Call of Duty community, to bring as many new faces in as possible. So that's my take on that. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. See you guys later.